all know her. She's my sister from another mother. She's the co-founder of this festival. She had one of the number one TED Talk a few years ago. She's been on countless TV shows. She's been on my radio show and so much more. Please, a big welcome for Maysoon Zayid, everybody.
Wow.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Yay.
Yay.
Gosh, I'm so excited that you're all at the 17th Annual New York Arab American Comedy Festival. For those of you who can't see me, I look like the Lost Kardashian. And if you've never met me before, in the Impression Olympics, I'd win a gold medal. I'm Palestinian, I'm Muslim, I'm a woman of color, I'm disabled. I just added a new credit. I am divorced and I live in Jersey. So if you don't feel better about yourself, maybe you fucking should. And at the 7:30 show, my mom was here. So I couldn't tell any of the jokes that I'm about to tell you. So let's get this party started. This is my first official divorce set, because I got divorced on September 4th. He moved out on September 11th because I was like, let's just, have that be what it is. But for those of you who don't know, I got married at the age of 33. I was in my Jesus year. And the reason I got married is because married people are con artists, and they spend their entire married lives trying to convince single people that we're losers because we're not married. And they work really hard on this. Like, one of their rituals is marching out single ladies on the dance floor and throwing like a 10-pound bowling ball of flowers at their heads and making them fight like sharks over chum to catch the bouquet so that they'll be lucky enough not to die alone and be eaten by their cat. And what they're trying to do is suck you down to their hell, because nobody warns you about what marriage is actually like. Marriage is a life sentence, and you have to choose your cellmate wisely. And even when you do, you usually want to shank them. So when I was 33, I went to Gaza to catch a husband. And I know we've talked a lot about cousin love, but my mom and dad are also from the same family wreath, because we don't do family trees. And I couldn't marry a cousin because I am way too disabled to inbreed. And also because it's no longer okay to marry your cousin. It was okay to marry your cousin when you had to ride a llama for 5 days to find someone not related to you. Now we have Tinder. If you share blood, swipe left. And the reason I had to go to Gaza was because, you know what, white people, I feel really bad for you. You're like the new hummus. Like, the first year that we ever did the New York Arab American Comedy Festival, everyone had a hummus joke. Now everyone has a white joke, including me. So if I could have married white, I would have married this guy named Mike. But my dad said he'd throw himself off the George Washington Bridge if I didn't marry a Palestinian. And I had seen too many episodes of Law and Order, and I couldn't stand the image of them fishing him out all bloated and shit. And like I said, I can't do Match.com because I'm palsy and typing's not my thing. And so I went to Gaza. I framed my American passport in a big gold frame. I walked through the refugee camp. I was like, do you want a visa, baby? He was like, yeah. I was like, pack up your shit, let's go. He's like, I have no shit. So I bring him to America. We're married for 10 freaking years, 10 years. And I gotta tell you, people's habits start to grate on your nerves. And the habit that Chef Yuji, I call him Chef Yuji because he's a chef and a refugee. The habit that he had that really killed me was the constant breathing. It was non-stop. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I'm like, can you fucking stop for 5 minutes? I did when I was born, and I'm totally fine. So anyway, I spent 10 years hoping that Chef Yuji would fuck up so that I could divorce him, because I couldn't divorce him because he was like the nicest guy in the world, and he's MacGyver. Like, when the pandemic started, he was like charging cell phones on car batteries and like making toilet paper out of cat fur. And he was just like really resourceful. It was very hard to get rid of him. But finally, the breathing just got to be too much. And I was like, you don't got to go back to Gaza, but you can't stay here. And so we got divorced. So I get rid of him. I'm really excited. And my friends are like, so are you afraid of dying in a freak accident alone in your house and nobody finding you?
What?
And I was like, no, because I spent the past, 20 years touring by myself. So like I've already had the moment when I choked on a gummy bear and it started expanding. And I was like, I'm good with where I'm at. Anyway, I did something that I'm sure every divorced person with social media does. Like people who got divorced decades ago, you could be like, I don't even know what happened to Timmy. But now we have social media. So like a month after we got divorced, I start trolling him on social media because I'm like, who is Chef Yuji, who I now call Borat, neither here nor there. I'm like, who is he gonna date after the Queen of Crips? Like, who do you date after me? It's like a tough act to follow, like I said, I'm like the lost Kardashian. I shake all the time, which is enjoyable. So I go to see who, and get this, Chef Yuji has an Insta family. He's got a girlfriend with a daughter. And I call the girlfriend Melania Tutti Frutti because she looks like Melania Trump. And she has a 2-year-old named Tutti Frutti, and in Arabic, is mother of. So she's Melania Tutti Frutti. So Melania Tutti Frutti is your new Becky with the good hair. Anytime you want to say Becky with the good hair, say Melania Tutti Frutti instead. So I turn into Nancy Drew and I start like piecing together this woman's life, right? Because one of Chef Yuji and I's irreconcilable differences was I like to have fun. And he's like a Dementor from Harry Potter who sucks the joy out of like every room he's in. Now suddenly I'm in my house living in a basement in like a disco dress, wondering if I'm gonna have a freak accident and have no one find me so that my cat has to drink my blood to stay hydrated. And meanwhile, he's got an Insta family. She's got pink hair and her resume is so impressive. She's a former sex worker turned boxing coach, aka a boxstitute, but I can't call her a boxstitute because I'm against slut shaming, which brings me to Melania Trump. How long before she divorces him? And what's her next job? The Bachelorette. He's gonna divorce his rancid, melted pumpkin still sitting on the doorstep on Thanksgiving butt, and she's going to be the next Bachelorette. And when she doesn't give people roses, she's going to be like, you are going home because be best. Yeah, I'm not bitter though. I'm not bitter at all. Like, I guess I'm supposed to miss my ex, but like I don't. And there's no like middle of the night, like, oh, I gotta call him. Like I'm missing the whole gene, but I do have a plan now. And my plan is I'm going to channel my inner Kamala. So marriage is a racket, and I'm never ever gonna get married again. I'm gonna do like the Oprah Stedman thing, like instead. But I'm gonna channel Kamala because my next goal, I don't care if they're Palestinian or not, like I'm free, I'll do whatever I want. But what I want is a man that's like 55 to 65 with grown kids that just want daddy to be happy. So I don't want anyone with like a dead wife I can't live up to, or like an ex where the kids are like, he still loves mommy and he's going back. I want the mamalas. I want like the full grown kids that aren't gonna give me any shit and are okay with the fact that I make my own money and I'm not gonna take their inheritance. So that's what's happening. If you wanna like forward anyone my way, that'd be great. Yeah, so are you guys having fun at the 17th?
Yeah.
I cannot believe it's 17 years. And And I literally have no idea how old I am. Like people ask me, I'm like, I don't know. Please go on Wikipedia. But I want to wrap this. I want to wrap up my set by giving you all some advice you don't want to hear. And the first piece of advice is stop asking people if they have kids. It's none of your fucking business. If you don't know if they have kids, you all aren't friends. Because I have a little secret for you. People who have kids will always fucking tell you. Never shut up about it. They're like, Timmy and Sally, I'm like,
Very
died
true.
in a tragic accident. I don't fucking care. So, but there's something that's so much worse. Never ask a fellow human being if they are pregnant. The only time, look, I'm like jumping out of my seat. Don't fucking do it. Because I'm bulbous. I have one of those bellies that always looks pregnant. So people like ask me all the time. I was getting patted down in TSA because I'm always random. And she was all like, is it a boy or a girl? And I'm like, Doritos, Cool Ranch. So the only time it's a valid question to ask someone is when you see a skull coming out from between their legs. Then where my Karen's at, get on that phone and call 911. But in the before time, before I lived in my basement all the time, wondering if I was going to die in a freak accident because my friend Gina decided to plant that in my brain. In the before time, I used to go out and I was at a show and this woman puts her hand on my belly and she goes, oh my God, when are you due? We're about to pop. And I'm like, I am about to pop. I'm about to pop you in the face, you bitch, which brings me to my final point. We must stop using the word bitch. It's violent, it's misogynistic, and after surviving 4 years of being ruled by a goddamn sexual predator, we must do better. But I know it's hard to replace words you love. So, virtual New York Arab American Comedy Festival, I am here to give you the replacement word for the B word. From now on, anytime you want to say that, you will instead say popple. It's my fleek, it's my fetch, and you have to make it happen. Popple. It's a stuffed animal from the 90s that can stick its head in its butt and become a ball. And it's the perfect replacement word. I shall use it in sentences. Where my popples at? Why you being such a popple, but I have my money on my favorite one, which is bow down, popple, bow down, popple. And what you're saying is, stick your head in your ass and roll the fuck out of the White House because Joe Biden's the president. So bye, Don. My name is Maysoon Zayid. Next year in Jerusalem, inshallah. Thank you.
Yay.